Um, um, Jim Miller versus Roosevelt Roberts. I think this fight's at 155, right? Yeah,
Um,
155. Yeah,
it's at a
because
catch weight. Let
on
me see here. Let
the
me see
UFC
here.
website doesn't have a weight class. This one here.
It is at where are we at here? Catch weight of 160.
160.
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay. Well,
because Roosevelt just fought not too long ago, so he probably wanted
yeah,
that
yeah. He
extra
don't
five
want to
pounds.
put. Right. Okay, makes sense. Well, I mean, Roosevelt Roberts, he's not really a big dude. I mean, he's a really tall, lanky dude, but he's not very like he's still kind of skinny, you know.
Yeah.
And then Miller, he's a short in stature as well, so um, maybe that won't make a difference for either guy. But Roosevelt Roberts, really like him. He's negative 225 to come back on Miller is plus 185. I'm a huge Jim Miller fan. You know, and man, this is gonna be a bad fight for him. So
Yeah.
um, it sucks. I love Jim Miller. He's good old Jim Miller. USA in this bitch.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get dropped. He's gonna get dropped here, and he's probably gonna get finished.
Hmm.
Miller is known to be really tough. And he fights until the end. But man, he's way out like size. Like he's on the height difference, the reach difference, the age difference. Like man, this is spelling doom for Jim Miller. And um, I got Roosevelt Roberts by finish. I'm guessing it's gonna be a TKO.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean Roberts is a pretty good grappler too. I
Hmm.
think he'll probably threaten with some guillotines here and there, but he probably won't be able to choke out Jim Miller. But I do think he'll probably TKO him at some point, probably on the feet, drop him, and then finish him off here. But yeah, man, he's old, man. The guy has so much mileage on him and so much wear and tear. Like I don't have to tell anybody this. Like everybody knows who Jim Miller is.
Yeah.
And like, well, what are you gonna do about it? He's in him and Clay Guida are in the same territory. Um, and Miller actually had the win over him. But in that fight, like even Clay Guida dropped him. Did he drop him? He rocked him. I know he rocked him, and then Clay Guida went in for the kill, and then got himself dropped. So yeah, they're both in the same territory of just high damage. Their damage meter is just way at the end of their career. So yeah, give me Roosevelt Roberts all the way. And I love the this type of prospect, Roberts, just because he's pretty well rounded. He's kind of gritty. I like his striking. He's got pretty good grappling. I love that he's got a sick front head choke.
Hmm.
So yeah, give me Roberts.
Yeah. I think that if Jim Miller doesn't get a quick takedown, he needs a quick takedown in that first round. If he doesn't get it, like I'll probably go for like a quick single or something like that. If he can't get that, then he's fucked. We have. I'm not going to really break down Jim Miller because everyone listening already knows his skill set and everything about him, his backstory, all that stuff. So basically, the reason why I think Roosevelt Roberts is going to win here, I think he's gonna hit Jim Miller with a clean 1-2 at some point. That's going to like not knock him down or knock him out or anything like that, but it's going to wobble him or stun him enough to where he's gonna eat a bunch of follow up shots, and
Yep.
then it's going to be bad just because I think that I don't know. It's unless he gets that takedown. His only chances if Jim Miller's only chances if he gets a takedown and gets in an advantageous position.
Yeah.
The height,
Just piles on the damage or something.
the height and the length. So the height and the reach for the Predator as well as the striking, and it's just too much. 1 second. Excuse me. Anyway, we have Predator. We have Roosevelt the Predator Roberts. God damn, something's in my throat. Sorry. We have Roosevelt Roberts. He trains at Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, along with two other guys who are tall and lanky, just
Sure, you don't
like
want to
him.
get a glass of water, man?
God damn, what the hell's in my throat? Anyway, so Roosevelt Roberts, he trains with Andre Ewell and also Jalen Turner over at Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Those guys are also tall and lanky, just like Roberts, and similar skill set, except for Roberts is clearly more skilled than they are as far as jiu-jitsu and stuff. But yeah, I'll just cut it short. I just think that Miller is going to get finished in that first round, probably like around the 2-minute mark, 2.5-minute mark. And is he coming off a winner or a loss? Let me see here. I don't even know.
Who, Jim Miller?
Yeah, he's coming off a loss to Scott Holtzman.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
He looked pretty gassed in there. Scott just lined up that right hand, just kept catching him on a counter, and Miller's reflexes have gone to shit. So he just kept getting hit by the same shit.
Yeah,
right
like
hand.
I guess like
and freaking and Roosevelt has a really 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 educated right hand. So
yeah. Like he basically back when he had that 4-fight losing streak, he was like, "Oh yeah, the whole that whole sickness thing that I had was like messing up my I don't know, my fight somehow." Yeah, the Lyme disease.
Yeah.
So he lost to Dustin Poirier, Anthony Pettis, Francisco Trinaldo, and Dan Hooker. Okay. And
then took away some of his prime. That sucks.
But then I guess he said it like, "Oh, I'm back now. I got it cured or whatever." And now I'm fighting against Alex White. He beats Alex White in the first round. That wasn't really anything special. Then he loses to Charles Oliveira. I'm not sure why he was fighting Charles Oliveira in the first place. That was a terrible matchup for him. Mm-hmm. And then he beat Jason Gonzalez, who was just tall for the weight class, and that's about it. And then he beat Clay Guida, which is, it's Clay Guida. And then he lost to Jim Miller. Sorry, he didn't lose. He lost to Scott Holtzman. I mean, Jim Miller lost to Scott Holtzman. So basically, he had that shitty 4-fight losing streak. Then he beat 3 guys who are not good. One of them is not good anymore. He used to be good, but 2 of those guys are not in the UFC. One is hanging on to the UFC, his contract, and take Roberts round 1 TKO.
Okay, I'll give it to round 2 maybe. We have a pretty good fight, a welterweight fight between Belal Muhammad and Lyman Good. This is gonna be a banger as well. This is a really good fight. Belal Muhammad is -150 to come back on Lyman Good is +130. I could honestly see this fight being at -110 apiece. But my lean would be towards Belal Muhammad just because of the fact that he's a very very active fighter. He throws a lot of volume out. He's willing to wrestle. He's probably the more well-rounded guy, while Lyman Good is just trying to land that haymaker, that one-hitter quitter. And Belal is a really tough son of a bitch, so I don't know if Lyman Good will be able to land that knockout shot against Belal Muhammad. So I'm guessing the fight may play out as Belal chipping away and just kind of being the more active fighter. However, it's gonna be a close fight. I mean, I expect both of them to land some pretty good shots on each other, and I'm not gonna say Lyman Good ain't gonna win a decision, because I think it's very possible that Lyman Good does win a decision here, and it could end up being a close fight where it ends up being a split decision. So with that said, I'm gonna go with the over 2.5 here at -160. However, what scares me a little bit too is just because of the fact that it is a small cage, so obviously more engagement. So possibly somebody gets knocked out here, and I still would go over 160 though, because both of them were just really really built really tough. And I'm looking at the odds right now, and fuck, Good by decision at +470. I'm on there. Like, even though I'm picking Belal Muhammad here, like as a better, I'm fucking on that line, dude. I'm 470. I'm gonna actually drop something right now before it drops any lower, which I do expect it to drop to maybe 300 or something like that. So I'm gonna put some money on that. However, I'm not sure. Again, I'm gonna pick Muhammad by decision as far as the pick goes, but my money is going to be on the over, and then I'll probably sprinkle some money on Good by decision. So, yeah, give me that.
Yeah, it's this is a interesting fight. I'm pretty sure they're both from New York. They're both New York fighters.
No, what's his race? It's from Chicago. Belal's from Chicago.
Oh, Belal. Okay, I'm not sure why I thought he's from New York. Anyway, we have. Is that where they're all from?
No. I think Lyman Good is not even Middle Eastern. He looks Middle Eastern, but he's
Lyman Good, Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a Middle Eastern cat though.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I'm pretty good at when it comes to picking Puerto Rican fighters, whether it's to fade them.
Oh, that's right.
I
Oh,
usually
yeah.
do fade them.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah.
Fade your countrymen? Shame on you. I'm just
Uh,
kidding.
I know the limits when it comes to winning. Um,
Well, he's an
s-
American dude, though, so
well, I mean, Puerto Ricans are American.
true. All right, fair enough. Go ahead, proceed.
Okay. Anyway, so we have Lyman Good. He is a former Bellator champion, and he is 6 feet even versus 5'10", sorry, 5'11" for Bilal Muhammad. I thought Muhammad's like 5'10" or something like that. I think he might be lying about that 5'11". Then we have Lyman Good has a 74-inch reach, and Bilal has 72-inch reach. Both are orthodox. We have Bilal with a 4.37 significant strikes landed per minute versus 5.32 for Lyman Good. That might be skewed a little bit just because he has some finishes against. So basically, Lyman Good has 3 finishes in the UFC and knockouts rather, so it's going to skew his actual striking output. So I think that Muhammad he throws and lands more than Good does, but Good he usually knocks his opponents out in the UFC if he wins. So the striking stats are skewed. So basically Muhammad lands more significant strikes while the Good hits harder. And then I agree that Muhammad does have the slight wrestling advantage here. Good is good off his back as far as jiu-jitsu if it does get there, and I think that he could scramble or use the cage, scoot to the cage to get back up, and then Muhammad's not a jiu-jitsu threat, so he doesn't have to worry about that. A small cage with 2 guys who are strikers, and one guy has the power advantage while one guy is going to employ his little bit of a wrestling skill advantage there. I think we're going to see. I do agree that the plus 470 is good for Lyman Good. It's a good play. I did put a bet on it, but I'm worried that Lyman Good's going to get an actual like TKO here. I do pick Lyman Good to win at plus 130. That decision line is juicy. I just have a feeling that we're going to see more action, and he's going to be able to land clean on Bilal Muhammad. And if he does land clean, it's going to be night. Kind of similar to what we saw when Muhammad got knocked out by what's his face?
Vicente Luque.
Vicente Luque, yeah.
Yeah, but man, that left hook that Vicente Luque hit on him was not only a powerful shot, but like that was set up extremely well. Like I don't know if Lyman is that type of guy, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's. I think we're gonna see Lyman Good land clean at some point, and rock Muhammad at some point. If Good doesn't gas, because like Good doesn't gas, but he definitely slows down. While Muhammad is known for being strong, or not strong, but like still being fresh in that third round, because he usually puts a consistent pace throughout the 3 rounds, but sometimes he starts slow. So I think that Good's going to win the first round, whether it's a quick knockout or he's just going to win that first round. I feel strongly about that. So maybe if you're live betting, you could live bet Muhammad after the first round and get better odds on him at that point. But yeah, so give me Lyman Good plus 130 to win the fight.
So we have a couple of different picks on here. Maybe we should play for some push-ups here. All right, just for friendly push-ups here.
Yeah.
We'll talk offline. Next fight is a bum fight. We have Raquel Pennington versus Marion Reneau. Well, actually, I like Marion Reneau. She's cool. She's a teacher, so like I like her. 135ers. We have the favorite is Raquel Pennington negative 145, and the comeback on Reneau is plus 125. I actually like Reneau. I mean, she's a badass. Like, she's a high school teacher or something like that. Like, and she's like fighting at the age of 40. Like, go girl. You know,
Mhm.
I'll give her her respects. However, if there's one thing she sucks at is fighting off of her back. and she's very frustrating to watch for her sometimes when people take her down and she doesn't get up.
Mhm.
So, but she's old, she's 40 years old. So, but much props to her. Pennington is probably, I think she's younger, right? Younger,
Yeah,
I think.
Pennington. Yeah, she's definitely.
Or is she still young in general? How old is she?
Mm, let me see here. I got their stuff right here. So she's born in 1988. So
Oh, she's
September.
30. She's 32.
She yeah
31,
32.
32, one of those. Something
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
yeah. So she'll be
Yeah.
33 later this year,
Okay, so,
right?
well, I mean, she's younger, so
Or no,
I'm guessing
32.
she's,
I don't know.
you know what? I want to say she's probably going to win just because she's younger. However,
There's an
is,
11-year
is,
age gap.
is Pennington a wrestler? Is she a wrestler? Is she a top player at all?
No, she's not. She's not good at wrestling. Like she has improved her wrestling skills over the years, but like she's definitely not good at wrestling. Can she get a takedown
Isn't
here?
she married to Tisha Torres?
She's like I think they're engaged. I'm not sure if they officially got married.
So they're both fighting on the card together. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, shit. I'm not gonna put any money on it, but I'm gonna be rooting for Marion Reneau, and I'm probably gonna pick her to win this fight, even though it's likely she's gonna lose.
Mhm.
But I think if it's gonna be a stand-up fight, I'm gonna probably pick Marion Reneau by decision, just because I know Pennington is a pretty tough cookie herself and really hard to finish her.
Yeah.
But like I fully expect Reneau to lose just because she's 40 years old. So
Mhm.
yeah, but give me Reneau. I'll take her as a dog odds. What's the decision line on her?
Decision line on Reneau.
Plus 240. I mean, when the fight does come out, I'll probably put some, a little bit of pocket change on Reneau. Just, I like her, man. I got a little bit of a. I mean, you're a school teacher too, Like, imagine if you're still fighting right now.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So you're taking Reneau.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her, but I fully expect her to lose.
Yeah. So
Wouldn't recommend a bet on her, that's for sure.
we have Marion Reneau. She is let's see here. Oh, her birthday's in 6 days. She'll be 43 in 6 days.
Holy crap! She's 40. Whoa, wait, hold up. She's 43.
She'll be 43 in 6 days.
Holy crap! I thought she was 40.
No.
Oh hell no! Why is she still fighting? She might be the oldest UFC female fighter that's ever going to like ever fight in the UFC.
Yeah, she joined the UFC.
That's wild.
She barely joined the UFC. They didn't want her.
Oh,
Dana didn't want her back in the day because she was already
now
old at the time.
Now I really want her to win.
Yeah. So she joined the UFC back in January of 2015, and at that time Dana was like, "You're already too old. I don't even want you." And then she got in through whatever her reason was. She got in. She was what? That was like 5. She was already like 37 at the time or so when she joined the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she's going to be 43, and Raquel Pennington is 31. She'll be 32 in September. Ever since, so I used to be really, really high on Raquel Pennington, but even when she fought against Amanda, I was like, okay, this chick is going to outpace Amanda Nunes. She's going to win a decision, maybe even get a late TKO when Amanda's gassed. But at that time, so I was thinking the reason why I thought that, because she was improving. She had beat Jessica Andrade, she beat Betch Correa, she beat Elizabeth Phillips, she beat Misha Tate, and then she got injured and she didn't fight for like a year and a half. And she got, I forgot what the injury was, but ever since she came back from that injury, she looked like shit against Amanda Nunes. She looked like shit against Jermaine Daverdami. She looked like shit against Irene Aldana, who she won a split over Irene, and then she looked like shit against Holly Holm. So she's 1-3 in her last 4. I mentioned earlier, I forgot who I said it to, but I was saying that I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double retirement on this card, and it's going to be the first time we'll ever see a double retirement between two people who are romantically involved, between basically her and Tisha Torres, because Tisha Torres, she's like, she lost like 4 in a row already? Yeah, so she loses this one, Tisha Torres, and they definitely can't keep her around anymore. I mean,
it's the women's division. You could lose 5 in a row like Jessica Ai and it's still headline. So.
That's how it goes. Um, but
Yeah,
yes,
I get it.
I think that Raquel Pennington, I mean, she should win this one. She's going to be the bigger, the taller fighter. So basically, the stats are Pennington is 5'7", Reneau is 5'6". Pennington has an inch reach disadvantage, 67 versus 68. Both are listed as orthodox. They both land around this.
What is Pennington even good at?
She's a
Like,
boxer brawler, and she's
she's
been
good at being tough. I
yeah
don't know how she wins fights sometimes.
she's been she started adding like a little bit of clinch and dirty boxing against the cage, but then in her last fight she got what's the word I'm looking for? She got that done. She got that done to her by Holly Holm. Holly Holm started the fight because Holly Holm needed that win. Yep. So she just instantly pushed her against the cage and just like was stalling the whole time. I had a big bet on Holly in that fight. Yeah. So I'm glad she won that. But decision too, yeah, like in that fight, it was 38 strikes to 30 strikes, and Holly Holm had 30, and that was in 15 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? So, but yeah, so who wants it more? Marion Reneau wants it more. Who has a better skill set as far as jiu-jitsu and striking? Marion Reneau does. Marion Reneau doesn't have any wrestling, but she will throw more strikes as long as it stays on the feet. Yeah. And she has the will to win. Will she win? I mean, who knows? It's going to go to a decision. So I think
part of the grit though, like I'll give it to Pennington. Pennington has a ton of grit, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I mean,
that might even be enough to carry her through to the win, you know? Yeah.
So I mean, if this was like before the injury, I would take Raquel Pennington all day here. But I mean, she's proven in her last 4 fights, even in the one that she won, like she's done as a decent MMA fighter. So let's see here. We have Reneau money line plus 125, and Raquel Pennington's money line is still getting bet down. So I think I will wait a little bit on I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm going to pick Reneau, so I might as well just take her decision line. So plus 240 is what I will take on Marion Reneau to win the fight. Yeah, give me the old lady.
I ain't mad at that. Let's go, Reneau.
Yep.
All right. Still fighting at 43. Jesus.
Yeah.
Gotta give that some respect, you know.
Yeah, maybe her birthday being right around the corner in 6 days, maybe that's going to give her the not the power, but like the mindset of I need to win this it's my birthday. I need to win this. I need to go back to school, and I need my students to see that I'm going to win at my birthday or some shit like that. Who knows?
Yeah, and I'm looking at her profile pic on UFC. She ain't bad looking either, man. She can kind of get it.
Yeah, she can get it for sure.
At her age, at her age, she looks pretty good. All right, co-main event, featherweight fight. This is a really, really good one. I think Shane Burgos is ranked, but I think they're both ranked, right? They're both top 10 fighters.
They should be. I don't know the rankings.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah. Emmett is 8 and Burgos is 10. So yeah, 2 top 10 featherweights. Really, really solid fight. This the odds are -135 for Burgos, and the comeback on Emmett is plus 115. Mm-hmm. I think the fight should probably be 110 apiece. Okay. Man, this is gonna be really tough to fight to call. I mean, Burgos is a counter striker, and Emmett is a team alpha male guy. You know, he's a wrestle boxer. He's gonna throw overhand rights, and he's got good wrestling. He's good at he's got a powerful double leg. He's pretty athletic, very explosive. He's your typical team alpha male guy, and Burgos is a guy who fights with his hands down. He's got excellent counter. He's got really, really good boxing. I'm not sure about his kicks. I don't think Burgos kicks too much, but he's a really, really, really good boxer. I actually really, really like his style. But that could also be a hindrance to him too, just because he doesn't ever punch first, and he just doesn't throw much volume because he's waiting for you to throw. And I don't think he's gonna have that issue because Emmett is the type of guy that goes first. I expect this one to be a really close fight, man. I don't know who's gonna win this one, so I'm looking at the over, and the over is actually at plus odds, and I actually think that's the better bet, just on the basis of both guys are really tough. Burgos, he's a really tough dude. Same for Emmett, and both of them have good cardio. They're both. It's going to be a competitive fight, so that, and for me, I'm going to take the over on this one. And I'm just looking at the prop lines, like, oh my god, this is another wild, like, out of whack line, just like that Lyman Good line. But
Mm-hmm.
Emmett by decision is plus 485. Oh, I'm on that. Like, I'm soon as we get off this cast, I'm probably gonna put some money on that. But I'm gonna go with the over here, over 2.5. If the fight were to finish, it's because, I mean, Burgos, he could find that he could find a kill shot and finish you, you know. And if
Mm-hmm.
there was a finish, I would think it's gonna be in the third round after, you know, like, both guys know what it's like to be in the ring with each other and somebody just goes for it, because Burgos seems like the type of guy to go for it, and we've seen Emmett, you know, finish guys in the third round as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if the fight does finish, I think it's gonna be in the third round, but I'm gonna go with the over here, and that is my final pick. Well, as far as the lean on either guy, fuck, bro, it's gonna be a split decision. I can't give you a pick. I can't give you a pick. It's gonna be a split decision.
Yeah. So it's weird because I already so prior to the podcast, when we're talking, I had bet Emmett by decision at plus 45. But I only bet it just because of the odds, not that I actually think he's going to win. I could totally see this fight ending inside the distance for either guy, which is like really scary. So it's like, because like I definitely don't I don't know. I should have just bet the over at plus odds at plus, over 2.5 at plus 105. I should have bet that instead, uh, to be safe,
So you're on
be
the over
safer.
as well.
But well, so basically, I only have one bet on this fight so far. It's Emmett decision plus 45, just because how juicy it is. But after I bet, I was like, I could see this fight ending inside the distance, like under, like for either guy. And if I really wanted to bet a decision for either guy, I should have just taken the over since it's plus money. But yeah, so I think the reason why I think that actually, let me read the stats before I even say anything. We have Josh Emmett. He is 35 years old, and we have Shane Burgos, who is 29 years old. We have Josh Emmett. He's 5'6". Shane Burgos is 5'11".
Oh, okay, wow, that's a pretty nice little height advantage you got there.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
And then we have Josh Emmett, who has a 70 inch reach, and we have Shane Burgos is a 75-inch reach, 7'5". So Burgos is 5 inches taller and has a 5-inch reach advantage.
Wait. Burgos has a 5-inch reach advantage, is it?
Yes. He's 5 inches taller and has 5 inches of reach advantage.
Okay.
They're both listed as orthodox. I know that Emmett doesn't switch. Does Burgos switch, or does he stay orthodox the whole time?
Shit, I don't remember. I don't think he switches stances. I don't, not from my memory, but I could be wrong. But I know Emmett does.
Okay.
Like briefly, he does briefly, but it's the overhand right. That's what we're looking for here.
Yeah. Strikes landed per minute, we have 3.63 for Emmett and 7.09 for Burgos. Which I'm gonna get to in a minute is who I'm gonna be picking. So the reason why I'm going with Shane Burgos to win here is he's taller, he has a longer reach, he has much better pure boxing, and his output is like, it's not even close who throws the more output in this fight between these two. If it goes to a decision like you think it will, like you think it might go to, then it's going to be Shane Burgos all day in this fight. He lands way more than Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is basically, he's a big overhand or bust type of fighter. I think that he should add in some low kicks with his.
He's got a good left hook too. He's got some other moves.
I mean, yeah, he's just like way more limited compared to, like, because it's gonna be mostly striking, right?
Yeah, he's super compact. So yeah, he's gonna have to cover a ton of distance to get to that. Yeah. You know what? I didn't have a lean before, but I'm probably leaning towards Shane Burgos as well.
Yeah.
At this point, but yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
The problem here is that I think that I think that Josh Emmett should add some low kicks, those ankle kicks to his game, because what's his face?
Add some range to his game.
Burgos is wide open to them, what's his face? Rosa was landing kicks on Burgos, and he just throws like little pitter patter shots though. And yeah, so I think that Emmett should throw some low kicks to start just making it difficult for Burgos to move out of the way, and
I
then
didn't get a
it'll
chance
set
to
up
watch.
his overhand.
I didn't get a chance to watch Amir Khani versus Burgos. I feel like I was so distracted during that fight.
Hmm.
But I did end up catching I did end up catching the third round where Burgos came back and just finished him.
Hmm.
Was he down some rounds at all, or was he in control of the entire fight?
You mean so you're asking, did he lose any rounds?
Yeah, because I didn't get to see the first two rounds. I was just really distracted, but I don't remember it. I haven't watched it yet again.
So from what I remember, Americani won the first round because he was able to get the takedowns in the first round, and Shane Burgos wasn't able to land any strikes. So I'm looking at the stats right now. So we have round one. It shows Americani significant strikes 8 versus 6 for Burgos, and Americani got 3 takedowns in that first round. So that was just
Oh, wow.
okay. And then Americani is known for gassing. So in the second round, it was 27 strikes to 5 for Burgos. No takedowns in that round. Americani tried 5 times. He wasn't able to get it.
Wait. Okay, sure.
And then the third round, he was able to finish Americani in the third round. It was 72 strikes versus 9 in the third round. And he got a knockdown. So
yeah,
he landed.
Burgos turns it on late.
Yeah, so he has good cardio. He has great output. He's able to get knockdowns versus a lot of people. But anyways, yeah. So I think that the height, the reach, the output, the pure striking, like the pure boxing advantage, goes to Burgos. I think that he just needs to watch out for those low kicks. And obviously the big overhand, and then he should win. But Shane Burgos is known for getting hit a lot, so
yeah, he does. Because he fights with his hands down all the time. Because he's got great head movement. He's got really, really good head movement, but with his hands down all the damn time, and he's got this really long like orangutan arms, and he just and he's gonna have that Avenger here definitely. Like so the reach and height difference is a huge huge advantage for him in this fight. Yeah, what's his face? Pretty short,
The way he fights, the way Burgos fights is he fights. He always fights like he's fighting a guy who wants to wrestle him, because like the way the area at which he holds his hands is good for like takedown defense, like quickly stopping a takedown,
grabbing underhooks and stuff,
like sprawling and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's where he wants to fight. He wants to stand up.
Yeah. But yeah, it gets him into trouble. Emmett does have a wrestling background, but he doesn't use it much. I think he'll use it like in one fight. I forgot who against in the UFC, but he has only used.
Can't he? He's a pretty good wrestler. I think he's a pretty good wrestler. He just I don't think he's very good at holding people down.
Who, Burgos? I mean, did I say? I meant to say Emmett. I think I said Burgos. What's it called? Not so. So yeah, Burgos doesn't have wrestling. It's Emmett who has wrestling. Emmett has a wrestling background, so he only used it once in his UFC fights thus far. Is what I meant to say.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna need his wrestling here, because I don't expect him to go toe to toe with the longer, like very good counter striker here. And I mean, even though he's really good in the pocket, Emmett that is, but man, the longer, I feel like in order for him to win this fight, he's gonna have to get some respect in the wrestling as well.
Yeah. And
so this is gonna be a fun fight. Man, this is gonna be really good. This is a good co-main event.
Yeah. So Emmett is training with Team Alpha Male alongside who's the other dude on this card? Clay Guida. So Clay Guida and Emmett are training together, as well as a bunch of other fighters like Feely, who just fought a few days ago at the most recent card. There's like around five different fighters who from Alpha Male who've been fighting recently. And then Shane Burgos trains at Tiger Schulman along with Lyman Good. So they've been training together for this fight. So I think I'm gonna be waiting for the line on Burgos to get down to like minus 125, and then I'm gonna put like $50 on him or something like that. I feel he just needs to avoid that the knockout, and he'll win You just win basically. Just avoid the
Yeah,
knockout. Easier said than
yeah,
done, but
yeah. I think, I'm gonna ride with Burgos. I think he's gonna win the third round, and the first 2 rounds is gonna be super duper close.
mhm.
Um, with this one here, it's kind of interesting. If the fight unfolds in this direction, where like if you know Burgos has the reach, he has the height, he's got great counters, he's gonna be just as fast. So I think if if Emmett doesn't get any respect in the stand up,
Mhm.
um, he's gonna have a really tough time wrestling.
Yeah.
And I do think he needs to have the threat of the wrestling in this fight to actually win. But at the same time, like Burgos, he always fights with his hands down. He'll never like he's really reliant on his his ability to strike with people. And so like I don't think Emmett's wrestling is going to. Man, yeah, you know what? I'm trying to play out this fight in my head right now, and it's gonna be very interesting. Like Emmett's gonna have to hurt him on the feet,
Mhm.
like to show him like get some respect,
Yeah.
in this fight, in order for him to actually like either have some success standing or have some success wrestling. He's gonna have to get some respect here, and if he does get some respect, I can definitely see him winning the fight. But if he doesn't get any respect, I feel like eventually as the fight progresses, Shane Burgos is gonna find his range and find the better shots and things like that, and while Emmett, he's really reliant on just like darting in, darting out, and using his athleticism and his movement and things like that. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm a slide toward Shane Burgos, but when it comes to the odds, I'm gonna go with the over 2.5 here. And again, like damn, those odds on his on what's his face's decision line, that's outrageous. I'm on that one too. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
bet the board on this one. Yeah.
What another thing is lastly, you had mentioned it earlier that Shane Burgos comes on late when I was mentioning the Americani fight. So in his UFC run thus far, Shane Burgos knocked out Charles Rosa in the third round. He knocked out Americani in the third round. He and then in the second round, so he in this fight against Calvin Kattar, uh, Kattar won the first round, but then like Burgos clearly won the second round, and then Kattar hit him with I think it was an uppercut in the third round, early in the third round, and knocked him out. But he was, if he didn't get that knockout, what's it called? Burgos is gonna fucking put it on his ass. So Kattar is a skilled boxer, a technical boxer.
Yeah.
So I think that we're I think that if Emmett doesn't get that one hitter quitter in this fight, that we're gonna be after this fight's over, that we're gonna be like, damn, that minus 125 or minus 135 or whatever it was fucking, that was a gift. This guy is
Yeah.
way more skilled, way bigger, way longer, and it was just a wipeout, maybe even a knockout. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting a decent sized bet on Burgos.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not as confident as you are, but definitely I think it's gonna be a close fight either way. But yeah. Okay. Main event. We have a pretty good one. It's a heavyweight fight. Curtis Blaydes versus Alexander Volkov. Blaydes is a huge favorite. He's negative 380, and he keeps on climbing. Come back on Volkov is plus 315, and yeah, the odds continue to climb for Blaydes. And I mean, he's probably gonna, yeah, Blaydes is probably he's gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
But it is heavyweight fight, so I would never bet that much juice on a heavyweight fight
Hmm.
for Blaydes. But yeah, I mean, we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna get Volkov down to the ground and pound him, and drop some bows. And well, here's the tricky part here. Um, I'm looking at the odds right now, and obviously it's a 5 round fight. They're heavyweights. They're probably gonna knock each other out. I'm guessing if Volkov wins this, he's gonna have to win by knockout. And if Blaydes wins this, he's probably gonna ground and pound, find a position, and just rain elbows until the referee comes in and stops this fight. However, just looking at the odds, like the fight to end is negative 305. Like I'm not gonna play that, and Blaydes to win inside the distance is negative 195. Like get fuck out of here with that shit, So, um, Volkov is a really tough. He's a tough dude,
Hmm.
And if the fight were to end, I would see it, like as I mentioned earlier, the referee comes in and stops the fight. That's what he does. But I'm gonna just I'm not picking this as a play, but like eventually I probably will do it. But I'm gonna take a Blaydes by decision at plus 390 just out of value sake. It's a really big line, and I'm probably gonna lose it. I'm probably gonna lose the bet. But what the fuck else am I gonna do? I'm not gonna bet Blaydes negative 380. I'm not gonna bet his inside the distance line at negative 195. So what the fuck else am I gonna do? So I've already been priced out of this place, so I'm gonna just have some fun with it and bet a decision line, for shits and giggles, and what can you do? Like realistically, based on a principle, on a heavyweight fight, you get a heavyweight guy who's plus 315. Like normally, I would bet it, that like out of principle, I should be betting Volkov here, but if I'm getting 390 for a decision line for Blaydes, even Big Titty Willis went 3 rounds with Blaydes, right? So and he's a fat, really just a fat dude, Volkov is a really tall, lanky dude who's a tough son of a bitch himself. So yeah, man, fuck it, nigga. I'm gonna take a plus 390.
Yeah, I don't see. So basically, if Blaydes wins this fight, I don't really see a way for it to end in a decision. Because if he wins, he's going to get it on the ground.
Yes. Well, like I said, Big Titty Willis, man. Big Titty Willis went 3 rounds with him, so I actually bet that fight to go to decision as well.
So
and I've lost a couple of decision lines on Blaydes, So
Big Titty is like a big. He's compact and because he's short and he's fat and he has a. While he's not like a good wrestler, he trained with good wrestlers at AKA back in the day, and it's difficult to move a short big object versus a long slim object. Like think of like a fucking a big metal weight in a ball versus a broomstick. So. Yeah, I mean, he did go to decision. Was that a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder? Let me check.
3-round fight. 3-round fight.
Okay. So we
5
have.
rounds is a long time to be underneath a heavyweight like fucking Curtis Blaydes. So
Yeah.
I get it, but you know what? How about this? Sorry, let me change my mind. I'm sorry. Not take this fight to go to decision, but I'll take the fight goes over 1.5 or something like that. I know that line ain't out yet, but it'll probably be negative 110 or something. I'll take that.
Okay.
All right, that's my final play. Sorry, proceed.
Okay. So if you remember in that fight against Big Titty versus Curtis Blaydes, Titty was talking so much shit because he was on that win streak against those bums, and he was talking so much shit, and it was a 3-round fight, and Blaydes was thinking deep down, okay, I have something for your ass, and he wasn't trying to finish them. He wasn't trying to finish him in that fight. He was trying to embarrass him. So in that fight, Curtis Blaydes landed 7 takedowns, 4 passes, and only 22 strikes. He was just trying to embarrass him that whole fight. He wasn't, and Justin Willis landed 2 strikes the whole fight. He wasn't trying to finish him. He was trying to embarrass him against a tall, against a long, tall, whatever you want to call it, slimmer guy. If you have a frame like Volkov. If a big wrestler who's good at wrestling, if he's going to get you down, it's going to be so hard for you to move because you're so lanky and so long that you're going to get flattened out. Versus a guy who's shorter and fat and is hard to take down, and someone who you want to embarrass, it's much easier to get a guy who's much taller and much slimmer and get him down and just flatten him out. So I think that this is going to end inside the distance if Blaydes wins. Volkov does have a chance to win on the feet, I guess. You need to catch him with an uppercut coming in, I guess. But I see this fight ending inside the distance. If you were to parlay minus 195 for inside the distance for Curtis Blaydes with a line that's plus 100 or minus 105, you're going to get plus 200 if you parlay those two people or those two teams, whatever you want to call them. So I do think Curtis Blaydes is going to win, and he's going to win inside the distance. So I have him parlayed with Courtney Casey at plus 100. You're probably like, why don't you just take her money line? It's plus 100. Well, I mean, if I think Blaydes is going to win, and he's going to win inside the distance, I'm just going to take the inside the distance and pair it up with a fight who, uh, like Courtney Casey, and I got plus 200 out of it. Or no, it's plus 203 to be exact. I think I'm going to do the same thing with Curtis and a different fighter just because I'm kind of scared about the Courtney Casey play. But I do feel confident Curtis Blaydes is going to win. Yeah, so Curtis Blaydes inside the distance all day here. I'm not sure which round, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and just a little tidbit for like a betting principle that I usually run by too is like I put the heavyweights and women fighting, and I kind of put them in the same category of like anything can happen. It could be a crapshoot at any point,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I cannot put too much weight on the Courtney Casey fight or any heavyweight fight for that matter, unless it's a case by case basis. But I always like you gotta really temper your bets as far as like even though as much as I think Courtney Casey is probably gonna win this fight, like it's fucking women's fighting, it could be a crapshoot. So it is what it is. But yeah. So no.
Do you see it the way I do as minus 195, like for the inside the distance being like free money, like let's say if you wanted to bet, like let's say any fighter you want to bet on his or her money line right now, just adding Curtis Blaydes inside the distance is just kind of like free money. Do you see it like that, or do you not see it like that?
I can't do it, man. Look, you give me negative 110 for his finishing line, and I'll take it. But I'm not taking it negative 195. Fuck that, man. I'm not gonna give these juice lords their satisfaction of fucking making me pay for some bullshit like this, Fuck that. Well, maybe you should wait for the TKO line. Maybe you know what, the TKO line is gonna be still stupid too. It's gonna even be more than 195. It'll be like 200.
Shit,
it'll be some bullshit like that, but that's what's gonna happen.
I had like two different parlays last week. The only two bets that I felt confident in, it was minus 3.5 for Julia Avila, and like minus 3.5 for Merab Dvalishvili, and it was like
Jesus Christ.
I think I had to lay down like $68 to win 50 for that. But I mean, I was super confident, and it clearly cashed. Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess I ain't mad at that. Yeah. All right. Well, good card. I like the card overall. It's got some guys on there that I want to see fight. Yep. There's some good fighters on here. There's a couple of ranked guys on here. So a whole lot better than last week's card, headlined by Boo Boo, Jessica I.
Oh God.
And whatever. So I hope her fights disappear. Like I hope to never ever see her on the main card ever again.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that news about her? About her messaging? She contacted Calvillo and her team before the weigh-in, saying that she was going to miss by like 3 pounds, or 3 or 4 pounds, and then she got on to the scale, and Calvillo said that she was holding. Jessica was holding the towel too, and that's why she was only 0.25 over.
Wow, what a cheater! I hope she loses her next fight. She's a bum.
Yeah.
So. Shit. I never want to see that. Oh my God! All right, well, I don't know what kind of dirt she has on Dana for her to be getting a main event slot like that again. That's so disrespectful to like the real fighters out here, man. Like that's super disrespectful. I can't even. I'm not even gonna go that route. UFC on ESPN 11 this Saturday. Good fight. Fight should start it starts a little earlier at 2 p.m. Pacific time. 5 p.m. Eastern time. So all right, man. I'll catch you on the next card. Next week, we have a pretty decent one as well with Poirier and Hooker. And I know you got a pretty strong lean on that one. So stay tuned.
Yep. Show up next week.